Yeah, Nami's treasure sensor. So while we're around here, let's see if we can find some stuff.
So why did Nami join the group?
Oh, originally it was a they originally met in, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they met at Nami was their second crew member. They met originally Nami joined the crew to try and make money because her desire was to, her main goal was to make 100 million, I think it was like 100 million berries to try and, okay, yeah, berry counter just basically says find mass amounts of money. Okay, so now I need to swap with Luffy again to climb up there. So she joined with the Straw Hats as basically a means to make money. And that venture actually worked really well for her until, I believe, the Baratier, where she chose to take the ship and the money and take it back to her village to store away, because since she has a map of the Grand Line, she plans to head there next to get the rest of the money she needs to buy her village back from the Arlong pirates. However, the Straw Hats figured out what was going on and came to Okay, I'm wondering what that is now. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted because there was like a blue thing there. So
I noticed. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Luffy was able to. So yeah, Nami was effectively told like, I promise. Was told like, yeah, I never was told by Arlong, who is a needle-nosed sharkfish man, basically says, hey, I promise that I will free your village and I will free you too from my servitude if you bring me 100. No, it wasn't 100,000. I think it was like 100 million. If you bring me 100 million berries. The problem was, though, is Arlong never intended to keep up the agreement. So Luffy ultimately decided, yeah, we're going to take out the Arlong pirates and free Nami. And that's exactly what they did. They freed Nami. Now Nami is free to complete her true dream, which is to create a map of the world. That is Nami's true dream. And that was her, and that has been her motivation to be a part of the crew ever since. Because each member of the Straw Hat crew has their own like particular dream that they want to complete, and that's one of their key motivations as to being a member of the crew. For example, Luffy wants to be king of the pirates. Zoro wants to be the greatest swordsman in the world. Nami wants to draw a map of the world. Usopp wants to be a great warrior of the sea. Oh yeah, that line there is from Baratier as well. I'll talk about that later. Sanji's dream is to find the All Blue, and probably also find a bunch of mermaids. Anyway,
where all four seas connect, and the greatest fish of all the seas gather, a place where we can find the most delectable meat in all the world to prepare the finest dish to have ever existed.
That is exactly right, yes. And then there's Chopper, who wants to be the world's greatest, wants to be the best doctor in the world to cure any disease. Then after that is Frankie, who I think his dream is to basically be, his dream, I believe, is effectively already there. His dream is just, I built a great ship, and I want to see its journey go through. And the ship that he built is the Thousand Sunny, the ship that the Straw Hats are riding on right now. And then there's Brooke. The skeleton. His goal is to journey around the world so that he can meet up with his old friend, Laboon, a giant island whale who is currently on the very beginning of the Grand Line. Oh, and by the way, this is one of the things I 1000% despise about 4Kids.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Have you ever seen any of the changes that the
4Kids...
Oh,
yeah. I've seen a fair bit of it.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the Grand Line, when you're watching the 4Kids dub, instead of a giant whale showing up instead of them dealing with a giant whale, they instead dodge a giant iceberg.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, is that because 4Kids chose to do something that dumb, they... Okay, I think I need to swap out.
They definitely screwed up the story because that whale is actually a character.
Yep, that whale is Brooke's entire motivation.
So Brooke just doesn't work in the 4Kids version.
Exactly.
Though, if I remember correctly, they canceled the show really early on, so they may not even have gotten to Brooke.
Yeah, they didn't get to Brooke. I'm glad they canceled that. What sucks is that they have such a massive stranglehold on... They have such a massive stranglehold on Yu-Gi-Oh! That we're never going to see a decent English version of it.
Yep, and also, isn't the dub of One Piece pretty much never going to happen because they're just refusing to give up the rights or use them to actually make a proper adaptation?
Of what? What, you're talking about One Piece? Or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, do we finally have a One Piece dub? Is like 4Kids finally given up on that, or?
Oh, they gave up on it a long time ago. We're at episode like 920 of the English dub.
Oh, okay.
That's
old information then.
Yeah, that's been going on for years. Oh, all right. There is a particular funny thing going on here. Is that these particular characters are trying to pretend to be the Germa Double Six, which is Sanji's family. The Germa Double Six are, except for for all intents and purposes, a bunch of assholes. Except for Reiju, who is the one that the pink girl is pretending to be. Because let me go ahead and ask you, do you know the situation involving Sanji's name?
Nope.
Do you know how to count in Japanese?
Nope.
San is 3 in Japanese.
Okay, so he's the third one then.
Yeah. He's the third son of the Vinsmoke family. There's Reiju, who is the first daughter, but her number is 0 because misogyny. Then there's Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji. Yeah, the members of the Germa Double Six, or more specifically Sanji's family, are all modified humans. They were all modified at birth to basically have super strong skin and no empathy. No empathy or any undesirable emotions. Oh yeah. So that the thing is, though, the reason why Sanji was not affected by that is because his mom, the person that all the Germa kids were birthed from, she took a poison or some type of formula to try to prevent the experiment from going through, because the mom was completely against the idea of genetically modifying her own children.
Ah.
But of course, only all but Sanji were successfully modified. Reiju has empathy, but she also cannot disobey Vinsmoke Judge, who is Vinsmoke Judge is the name of the father. The rest,
Because we can't just have normal names.
Garuda is a. Oh, right. Basically, everything that I've said about Germa Double Six was used in a comic book in the One Piece world called Sora Warrior of the Sea. It's basically giant Navy propaganda.
Yeah, that's how these dudes know about them.
Yep, that's how these goobers know about them, yeah. Yeah, you mean your outfit colors. Hey, you don't have a lot of black. You're basically naked. My suit's power is invisibility. Nobody should be able to see me. Oh, by the way, in the actual recently dubbed episodes of One Piece, you actually get to see Sanji in the stealth black Germa Double Six raid suit.
Oh,
and he does
interesting.
have the power of invisibility. Ah, jeez. What? Then I can't sneak into the woman's I can't fully rep black. He even thinks like you. Yeah, freaking Sanji's like, hey, he even thinks like you because I'll be completely honest, that's exactly what Sanji did the moment he learned the raid suit granted invisibility.
He started spying on women.
Spy on the naked women. Now it's time to fight. Oh, that's a. Oh, Imitation Pink is the first female. Is the first female opponent. So let's do this real quick.
We haven't had a female opponent up until now.
Nope, we haven't. Oh yeah, there are 2 enemies here that are free. I can do this real quick though. Yeah, almost all the enemies here are are skill based. So I need to swap out with. So I need to do a swap out soon. Whoa, wait a minute. That guy survived? Ah, jeez.
Somehow. Yeah, a lot of damage to Luffy, too.
Yeah, blade attacks are very effective. Let's do...
Blade is super effective against rubber.
Yep. Let's neutralize him real quick. Dang it. Sometimes I just wish that those abilities would work. better off taking the time just dealing with him first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swap out Zoro here.
Yeah. Get someone who's better against skill characters in here.
Good. That decreases that guy's defense. Sanji will be able to finish him off then. Or he'll just burn to death.
That's also a possibility.
I need to swap out Luffy with Chopper.
Thankfully, they're weak to deer-based attacks.
Okay. They're still good. They're still doing that. Yeah, Sanji's code. He cannot attack women ever. As in, like, even if the woman is actively going to kill Sanji, Sanji will not attack women ever. Let's go ahead and use Care to get rid of the bleeding effect. Honestly, I probably should have done that in the first place.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well. The rubber band of doom. So does that attack actually do anything, or does it like have a chance of doing something good?
Anybody who is affected, anybody who can be affected by the rubber band of doom, it does really good damage, and has a chance of causing the opponent to faint.
Interesting.
Except it doesn't.
Is there any way
really
to tell someone's going to be affected?
It'll show up weak. It'll show up as saying weak on the character. Most of the time, it's just like humans and basically humans and any creature that's likely to be scared. Garuda Pirate Gardar's record cute.
Interesting.
Oh, he's playing this like it's a TV show. Tune in next time. Same Germa time, same Germa channel. $30,000 Bettys. Got some bedrock salt. Still doing a bit of exploring. I've switched to Nami because Nami found some treasure. There it is. 90,000 Bettys. An ogre onion.
Ah, because it has layers, I see.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, there are places like this that exist in I saw this area before. Yeah, you need to have Frankie with you if you want to build a bridge. And Frankie actually does a pretty good job at building bridges very quickly in One Piece. The problem is, though, he's a little more than a little finicky, a little more, like, very detail-oriented. Like,
yeah,
if you give, like, Frankie, like, a big pile of wood, he'll not only create a bridge, but it'll be a bridge so ornate it's crazy.
he just needs to. He needs to add the art to it.
Yeah, he's the shipwright. Oh, right, I have other... Oh, right, there's also, yeah, I told you about Brooke. And we didn't really have a new crew member join. And we didn't really have a new crew member join until... Jinbei. Jinbei, who is the leader of... Jinbei, former captain of the fish of the Red Sun and the Fishman and or Red Sun pirates. Oh, I'm trying to think here. Oh, right, I have to go around. Yep. He joins the Straw Hat crew. He joined the Straw Hat crew recently. He doesn't really have much in the way of a dream. The reason why he joins the Straw Hats ultimately is because Luffy saved his home island. And he was able to... And Luffy just decides, you know what? I want you to join my crew. And he does, because... well, of course, not immediately, because he had some obligations to take care of. Oh, seriously? I'm being chased by a plant. And I got a back attack.
どうしよう。あいつの相手任せていいのか。俺は強くなったんだ。その力見せてやる。
It's Burning Stone Crop B. Okay.
アームポイント国定ロゼオ。
There we go.
Big muscly reindeer boy.
Yep.
Makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, Chopper has the power to transform. Yeah. Thing is, though, originally every zone type Devil Fruit user has three different forms. They have full animal, full human, and a form that exists in between the two, or man-beast form. However, Chopper figured out that there are actually far more forms than that, so he developed a drug called the Rumble Ball that enables him to go into, I think it was like 5 other transformation points that exists within the spectrum, within that particular spectrum. And one of the abilities he has is Arm Point, which basically all muscles go to my arms. Of course, there's like Arm Point, Brain Point, Horn Point.
All muscles go to my brain.
All power goes to brain. But yeah. But after the time skip, Chopper's Rumble Ball no longer activates those points. He can activate those points on his own now. He basically enters into his most powerful form, which is known as Monster Point, which is basically giant human reindeer of death. Originally he can only access that form if he eats 3 Rumble Balls in succession, but he loses complete control of himself.
So what are Luffy's transformations?
Luffy does have transformations. It's based on he calls them his gears. Like he has first gear is basic. Well, first of all, I was going to say like Luffy doesn't have a the transformation points I was talking about was specific only to oh yeah, I see.
Zone type users.
We're specifically to zone type Devil Fruit users. Basically, there are 3 different types of Devil Fruits. There's Paramecias, which is basically you gain superpowers. You gain superpowers, the ability to produce any type of a specific type of material, or you basically gain superpowers. Then there's zone types where you gain the powers of an animal, and then there's Logia types, which means you gain the power over a specific element. You basically become an elemental. The 3 characters that would fit these examples is Luffy for Paramecia, Chopper for Zone, and Crocodile for Logia. Before the introduction of Haki, Logia type Devil Fruit users are basically untouchable. You have to basically have their elemental weakness if you are going to hit them. So, the best example of this is there were two Lugia type users that were fighting against each other. Ace, Luffy's brother, who has the power of the Flame fruit. In other words, his body becomes and he can manipulate fire. And then there's Smoker, whose body can become become and manipulate smoke. The problem is, though, these two fought against each other in Alubarna. No one could win because both of their attacks would just go through each other. So they would basically just be fighting for eternity if the battle continued on.
おい、不用意に近づくんじゃねえよ。危険なものだったらどうすんだ。
ウソップが変な亀裂に吸い込まれた。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this has something to do with Memoria.
どうなってるの？ヒスタリアに吸い込まれたのよ。
ヒスタリア？
ええ。この割れ目はほつれた記憶が生んだもの。このメモリアは思い出の世界。でも記憶は曖昧なもの。だからどうしても歪みができて、このメモリアとは別のヒスタリアと呼ばれる空間がじ
ゃあウソップはそのヒスタリアってとこに。
ええ。
おい、リム、ウソップは
多分。でも記憶のほつれに飲み込まれて戻ってきた人は。
Oh yeah, we are existing in a world of memory right now.
Yeah.
Created by Lim's ability. She doesn't have a devil fruit power. This apparently is an ability that exists within Lim's bloodline. For the stuff I'm talking about here is all specific within the game.
行くぞみんな。ウソップを取り戻しに。